So, good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Yamini Ramesh, and I welcome you on behalf of Homeopathy Junction and Asha Homeopathic Academy. And today, as a speaker, we have with us Dr. Malak Shah from Vadodara. So, Dr. Malak Shah is a young and dynamic homeopath, passed as MD Homeopathy, majority in repertory in 2007. The thesis he has written while pursuing MD was on anxiety disorders, which is a topic today, panic anxiety disorders. He is also pursuing PG FHPC, post graduation fellowship in homeopathic psychiatry and counseling, right now from the Other Song Academy. He is also an assistant professor in Pioneer Homeopathic Medical College in Vadodara in the repertory department. He practices classical homeopathy in Dynamis Homeo Clinic in Vadodara since 2007. Dynamis Homeopathy Clinic is the place where you find synergy of the various healing systems to achieve cure for the patient, like homeopathy, nutrition, yoga, and meditation all together. The Vadodara Satellite Center of the Other Song International Academy of Advanced Homeopathy is also a part of the Dynamis Homeopathy Clinic. He has worked under the guidance of world-renowned homeopath Dr. Rajan Shankaran for 1.5 years at the Other Song Academy. And he has also worked as a mentor at Batraj Homeopathy, guiding doctors of total 8 branches of Pune, Batraj Homeopathy Online. His constant zeal and efforts to refine one's skill to treat and cure the patient with homeopathy is still continued. His unique case-taking technique of zero in to understand the complaints of his patients is very well appreciated amongst his patients. He's very fond of reading, and especially the biography of various persons, and to understand life from their point of view. He did a lot of tracking also, especially in Himalayas, to experience the nature in original form. He's also very much interested to understand oneself and cosmos, leads him to learn and apply various meditative techniques to get awareness regarding oneself and surroundings. And also, he's very much interested in tabla. He's a music lover. So, Dr. Malak Shah, most welcome, and thank you so much for accepting this invite. We are very happy to have you.
Thank you, Yamini.
Thank you. You have
Thanks for
genuinely
it.
accepted this invite very quickly. I'm really glad and really looking forward to learn from you. I want to tell
I
you
hope.
guys that Dr. Malak is one of the most genuine persons I have ever seen. So I'm really looking forward for this talk. So, sir, over to you. I'll mute myself now.
Sure. Okay, sure. Let me check some. Okay. Hello. Just a minute.
Yes, you're audible.
Audible, na?
Yeah.
Okay. So, thanks, Yamini, first of all. And I always believe learning should be together and should be shared by each of those who are interested. So, thanks for, I can say, the opportunity for me. It's an opportunity for me to share whatever I learn, I can say. So, let's start. First of all, I dedicate this whole talk to Dr. Mahesh Gandhi, sir. I can say regarding the psychiatric disorder, or specifically regarding this panic anxiety disorder, whatever I have learned, I have tried a lot with also with our regular homeopathy, with keynotes and repertorization and all other things. But I can say the result I found is when I sit with sir and try to learn the way he, I can say, hello, the way he
Yes.
cured the case. So yes, so really thanks to sir. So let's start with the case only first, so that we will able to understand how we can proceed further in such kind of cases. So this is the woman. This is the age of a case of a woman aged 57 years. She consulted me on 12th August 2017. She had a main complaint of IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, since last 9 years. She had a very early menopause, around 38 years. She had also a hypothyroidism problem. But the complaint for which she is coming to me is regarding depression with a panic attacks, which is very typically happens after medication. So she feels very irritated. That is what the observation by the assistant doctor. So with this basic information, I have started her case. So on the first look, she looks very lethargic, and she told me I am feeling this lethargic since childhood. I tired very easily. Sometimes I feel very negative, very overtired. Even can't sleep because of this overtiredness. So that is what the intensity of her tiredness and the lethargicness. So why I'm so not super active like others? So whatever the other normal person are doing, she feels like all are doing a kind of a super active things. So she feels so much so lethargic and dragging. So in day-to-day life, I'm dragging myself. Even wake up, I need for the waking up, I need to drag myself. She shared her experience during meditation. She told me, I find myself totally in peace at that time. When I go deeper and deeper into the meditation, what I feel detached to myself. Then I got frightened that I will pass. So that was a very individual experience during meditation. During meditation, she feels that she will be frightened and she will pass away. I try to hold myself and do not want to go deeper. And so even during meditation, she feels that she has not control over one's own self. She needs to hold herself. She feels I have a very much fear of getting not to depersonalize. You do not feel that you are the same person. That is what she feels during deep meditation. She feels that no attachment from the world, no clinging would be there. She feels zero hope for everything at that time. She feels I feel completely uneasy. I cannot sleep even at that time. She becomes very confused, become very panicky at that time, because she feels that she has no control over her own body, not even body, but I can say even her own spirit, inner soul, she has not control. And she feels that she will pass away. And at that time, because of this panicky anxiety, she feels she is having a diarrhea, and she feels she has no control over that thing also. So she told me, I feel so lethargic at that time. Even I cannot hold myself. Just want to live as it is. At that time, she feels so much so fear of death. I feel so anxious at that time. So at that time, okay, during those time when I was doing a kind of this meditation at regular level, at that time I even become unconscious very frequently, even during daytimes. And because of this whole meditative process and whole phenomena, what I felt, it produces a severe abdominal pain, and at that time I cannot eat much, and I produces a stabbing pain in my abdomen. So a very, I can say, deep down meditative experience she was experienced at that time. Further, she again tell me this all these things on her by own only. She also told me that she had one very specific dream which she remembered. She feels that she saw a child in a dream, and she found that from that child would be from some of one place, and that child was very cute in a way, and uh, around age of that child would be 2 to 3 years. When I asked him, what is your feeling in that particular dream? So what this is the, I can say, during casting, what I'm doing, I will not just take it as it is what patient says, but I lead them further. Okay, please tell me a little bit more regarding, tell me more feeling during your dreams. So at that time she told me, "Okay, I feel, okay, I need to protect this child. This child is lost, and when I think that I need to protect this child, I feel literally panicky during dream. Okay, what happened if something happened to him, if someone kidnapped to him? I feel so frightened at that time during dream, of course, and fear of getting injured to that particular child, or also fear of death she experienced at that time. So again, even at this level, I ask her further to describe a dream experience during that dream. So it's a kind of zero in to the whatever patient tell to us. Okay, for example, she just described a dream of a child. When I ask her, "Okay, what is your feeling behind?" Then she tell me, "I felt frightened, I feel panicky, I feel like fear of getting injured." But when still we go further in the experience, she told me she feel like a shot. In Gujarati, she told me કે જાણે પેટમાં ધ્રાસકો પડ્યો હોય ને એ રીતનું લાગે આપણને. And there is a typical churning sensation she feel in the abdomen at that time during this particular experience during dream. When I ask her the further, ki, you just describe most intense experience in her life. So till now, I have explored her experience during meditation. I have explored her experience during dream. Now I want to confirm the same thing again and again. Wants to go deeper into her state and want to understand who she is basically. So when I ask her, okay, what is your most intense experience in life? She told me it happens after meditation, and it happened till now 3 times. It was such a deep state that I cannot come out from. I fear of death at that time. I feel so frightened that you will become spirit. So that is what her deepest meditative experience. 'Cause she feels like that her spirit will not be remain in her own body, and I do not want to be spirit. So they need to suffer a lot because they need to free themselves. So what she wants to convey, if I become spirit at that time also, it's a kind of even that spirit wants to be free oneself, and that spirit will suffer a lot. So I frankly speaking, I find this is the most peculiarest, most individual experience I able to cross, I can say, in my life during this meditative experience. Because someone may think like this also during meditative experience, as I am also doing meditation regularly, but I can say this very experience is totally individual and totally, I can say, a very peculiar homeopathically for me. So when I asked her further, she told me there was a fear of depersonalization. And this depersonalization, when I feel this depersonalization, I become very panicky at that time. You will be able come out from the body and cannot get into it again. And then after, when you cannot get into that body again, you will suffer a lot. So that is what her deepest fear. And because of this deepest fear of would not be able to get again into my own body, it produces so much so panicky state in her. So that is what the most individualization I can say in this particular case. So that is what she feel, a depersonalization of one's own self. Okay, even I cannot, I can say, understand, or I cannot, okay, this is me. That is what her, and she becomes so confused even describing this particular experience after meditation. become so confused. Okay, am I telling you right thing? Am I me actually, or am I something else, or am I describing you something? She got so frightened, even during case taking, I can say. And after that, so that is what the deepest experience I can get during meditation. So I ask her further some more things. So I ask her, tell me more about your nature, your likes, your dislikes in general. So she told me very spontaneously, and I don't like to watch TV. Now this is very PQRS. Okay, even in today's era, a kind of she doesn't watch TV. When I asked her reason why you are not watching TV, it's a good thing, na? She told me at that time all negative things are coming. All negatives are coming in the TV only, and they show a lot of suffering of the people. So that is what her sensitivity. It is not like that in TV all negative things are all only coming, but that is what her own sensitivity, and that is why she experienced the same thing at each and every way, or I can say at each and every place in her life, whether it would be a meditation, whether it would be experience during dream, whether it would be a most intensified disturbing state in her life, or even in TV, she feels the same experience again and again. She told me, I do not want such negative things or energy around me. All these affects me more. So she is a kind of a person which influenced very easily. Further, she tell me, okay, sometimes I feel bored a lot, and I'm also quite timid too. I'm quite sensitive by nature. So if someone tells me something, I cannot come out from that very easily. So that is what her sensitivity. Okay, once something is affecting, she would not be able to come out from that thing. And at that time, mind will be totally occupied in such thoughts. Even she told me that she is very sensitive. She feels insulted. And when she insulted, I weeps a lot. It helped me to come out from the complaint. So weeping helps her. So nature-wise, if we say she's quite sensitive, quite timid, weeping ameliorates, influenced very easily, then what medicine will coming in your mind if you want to prescribe at this particular stage? Yes, can anybody? You can type in a chat box even. Okay, so one suggestion is pulsatilla or the medicine from the ranunculaceae family. Yes, you are absolutely right. Okay, at this stage, this case is typical look like a pulsatilla. So let's go further. Some more suggestions are also there. Pulsatilla, pulsatilla. Dr. Chandasa says it belongs to subclass 1. Okay, okay. So some more suggestions. Okay, so let's go further. Rather than a medicine, I will say, let's understand this whole process. For me, uh, just it is not like that I would like to give you a kind of learning or of some particular very rare medicine or a general medicine, but for me, the whole process is much more learningful. So let's go further. What happened? Just a minute. Okay. So she described herself further. Okay, I am from a middle class family. I am working since the age of 13. At that time, we made a kapur goti. This particular kapur goti has she tends to allergic to this particular kapur goti and tends to produce sneezing. But I need to do this work as I want money. she also described another incident. She liked to play Garba a lot as a child. But once what happened when she was coming back to Garba, 4 5 boys were behind me and they came near me. And at that time, I was just 13 years old child. So one of them says another guy, she is just like child only. And they just went away. But because of these particular incidents, I feel so frightened and I'm having a fear of getting raped, fear of getting physically injury. And after that incidents, even till now, I never go to Garba again. So that is what I can say the sensitivity we can find here. Okay, because of that small incidents, the thing which she is very fond of, now she has never played that Garba again. So that is what the sensitivity she has, I can say. That is what I really want to convey to you. So another thing she told me, I used to work in a supermarket, but I cannot stand for a longer time as I am very much exhausted. I feel so weak. So I resigned at that time. Regarding the past history, she told me regarding the menstrual history, she has having a hot flushes before menses started every 2 3 minutes. These hot flushes before periods, and then after that it produces chilliness. She has also having a severe breast pain before periods. She feel like 2 to 4 kg weight before on means like breasts are like a 2 to 4 kg of weight. So that is what again indicating her sensitivity towards heaviness. And we also find a past history of recurrent eczema. And in the this whole case taking process took around 1 or 1.5 hours of the case taking process. And in last, she told me, "Okay, I beg to God, okay, please someone help me to come out from my problem. I beg to God, okay, please help me someone." So this is what the whole case is, I can say. How to proceed further? Now this is what the question in my mind. Even at that time, when I took this particular case, okay, case is really a wonderful. I can say I can deep up to the I can say I can zero into that particular deepest level of the experience which patient has told me. But how to use all these things and give medicine? So that is what in my mind at that time. So let's go further. So to understand this case, we need to little bit understand more regarding what is panic anxiety disorder. And so these are all more suggestions: pulsatilla, opium, stramonium. Okay, chalo, let's go further. Let's see what is coming. Hmm? So let's understand first what is this panic anxiety. Look, panic anxiety, I can say anxiety is not uncommon thing. We all have anxiety. Anxiety is a totally human phenomena. It's a simple our emotional state which is unpleasant, which we do not want. Even before starting this webinar, I was little bit anxious at that time. So it's very common na. So it's in even in today's scenario of this corona pandemic, we all have a some or other anxiety regarding getting corona infection, anxiety regarding one's own business failure, or regarding one's health, regarding one's own health, or the much anxious regarding the family health, family members health. So all these are very normal. All anxiety did not required treatment. All these are very, very normal thing, I will say. But sometimes what happen when some person who is suffering from lot of anxiety, and he has having anxiety for a longer period, and because of that anxiety is so much so overpowered on him that he would not be able to do his day-to-day routine life, not able to do even business, not even routine things. He was continuously in worry, and because of this thing, which is quite a normal thing for us, but for him it's a kind of very big thing. So at that time we can say that, okay, yes, this is needed to be treatment. So when a thing, anxiety is so much so overpower on one particular person that he would not be able to do his routine things, then I will say that, okay, yes, it is needed to be treated. And the main feature of this panic anxiety, specifically if I say, a recurrent of attack of that severe anxiety is a kind of a key feature of panic anxiety disorder. And here every episode, every attack occurs after that particular phobic stimulus or because of some exertion. For example, if I say a person who is having a first, who got a first panic attack during some stage performance or during some performance or during examination, so after that, whenever such performance happens in his life or her life, or whenever some examination happens, whenever some particular interview happens, that attack again reoccurs. And at that time, person always wants to avoid such performance, such examinations, or such interview, because it tend to trigger his or her own panic attacks. So that is what the characteristic of panic anxiety. So it is characteristic by a sudden onset and a feeling of impending doom. This impending doom is very characteristic, which is really needed to be treated. It is, I ask so many person regarding this impending doom. Please describe your innermost feeling or experience in that doom. It is like something will happen to me, and that doom feeling of that horrible experience is so much that person get frightened and produces a massive autonomic response. It tend to produce severe palpitation, tachycardia, sweating, dizziness, dryness. It tend to produce uncontrollable diarrhea or vomiting, sensation of fainting, that she or he or will be going to faint and having a fear of death. Of course, from person to person, the symptom will be vary. Some person having a more diarrhea, some person having a more tachycardia, some person having a more dizziness. So depends upon that dominant symptom, person will select to which particular physician he want. For example, a person who is having a tachycardia, he will first consult cardiac or cardiologist, I will say. Most of the panic attacks, I can say 10 to 15 percentage of the panic anxiety disorder persons will first consult some cardiologist. So, but it has nothing to do with heart, but it has to do with these panic anxiety attacks. So after that, there are also some secondary fear of dying and fear of losing control is also there. They may develop anxiety in between, and because of this anxiety in between, it produces continuously anticipation of such attacks. They are going to mad, they are again, they will get that panic anxiety attacks, and that anticipation kills them. Okay, even more than this panic anxiety, this anticipation, okay, something will happen, something will happen, something will happen, is a kind of very disturbing experience for them to run their day-to-day routine life. And because of this helplessness experienced by them during such attacks, they tends to avoid such situations ultimately what they will do, they will have a kind of no social contacts, which again trigger another psychological problem, psychiatric problem named social phobia, and they will remain in one room only, again which tend to produce agoraphobia, fear of people. And then if this continues for a longer time, do not want to meet anyone, do not want to talk with anyone, ultimately that person will fall into the depression for a longer time. So again, panic anxiety disorder, social phobia, agoraphobia, or I can say claustrophobia, or the social phobia, and finally depression, these are just a different name, a psychiatric pathological name, I will say. But when you go deep down into the state, you will be able to understand the whole ODP, origin, duration, and progress, how these all develop one by one into the same person. Even in some cases, what I have found, they are developing a claustrophobia in panic anxiety disorder, specifically because of fear of death, fear of tunnels. Nowadays, it is very common MRI scan. Panic anxiety disorder person would not be able to go for MRI scan most of the time. 90% of the person who is having a panic anxiety disorder will not go for this MRI scan. Even for them, theater, even lift, which is a closed one, is also tends to produce panicky on in them. Even high places tends to produce or tends to trigger this panic anxiety disorder in them. So all these are a kind of triggering factor for them. Hmm. And they continuously think. So for me, so these are the, I can say, more clinical symptoms regarding the panic anxiety disorder, through which we will be able to understand regarding specifically regarding diagnosis point of view. But for me, as a homeopath or as a doctor, much more keen interest I find in these psychodynamics of panic anxiety. Means how this panic anxiety happens to that one particular person. Why they develop, one particular person is developing this panic anxiety disorder. What is a deeper underlying state because of this? All this happens to any person. So when we try to understand these psychodynamics of panic anxiety disorder, for that we need to understand, I can say, the relation of id, ego, and superego. I believe you all know these. You all know the basic psychology. I believe I will not go deeper into this part. Okay, we have psychologically, we have these three things: id, ego, and superego. It is our basic inner self, our basic inner impulses. I can say our animal nature, our animal within, which is a kind of id. The second one is a superego, which is, I can say, rules and regulation which are imposed by the society or by the culture or by the country or by the parent, or by, I can say, not parent from the outside, but even parent from inside. So one side there is a rules and regulation, another side there is a id, our basic instincts, impulsives, and the third side, the outside reality. If I say that, if I try to give you understanding regarding this id, ego, and superego through this picture, I will say this heart is our id, our basic instinct, what we want to follow. We feel that sometimes it's like, my mind says the different thing, my heart says the different thing, and I am in a between to what to follow. So this is our id part. The another side, opposite side, this mind, it indicates a superego, rules and regulation, logic, culture, through the things through which we become having a security in society, in our society, all these will be, I can say, controlled by this superego. The rope, I will say, is the indication of the reality. Okay, even though one side id is there, another side superego is there, but this particular man who indicates, I will say, or display, I can say, the ego part of the person, he has to keep balance between these two things, heart and brain, and also need to walk on this particular rope. That is what the reality he was facing, he is facing, I can say. So this is the reality part, and this man, the ego, has to balance all these three things to remain healthy in a human context or in a society. It's like the same thing. Id says, I want this, I need this, please satisfy me. A superego say, no, you can't satisfy this thing, you must not do this thing, you must not do this thing. And the poor ego will be remain, always remain in a suffering mode, a kind of to whom to follow, a kind of a thing, a very, I can say, a poor ego, I can say. So this ego is in a constant pressure to keep this balance between these two things, and he tried to keep this constant pressure by pushing the inner pressure at an unconscious level. But sometimes this unconscious pressure pops up, most of the time not in a outside, totally outside world first time, but it pops up during dream time. So that is why, even it's irrespective of any situation in outside reality, we are getting a dream of missing train, or a dream of being lost, or having some animal. So that is what, even if you know, Sigmund Freud has written a very big book on this interpretation of dreams. I think when I was in a third year, fourth year, I read that particular book. Just curiosity, how any dream would be a kind of important. Just a minute, let me just. Okay. So these are the various dreams we got. Just a minute. Okay. So these dreams are, I can say, homeopathic point of view, they are very important for us to understand the subconscious level of that particular person. So when the pressure is increasing, just a minute, why this happens? Okay. So when this pressure increasing and the ego become weak, at that time it tend to produce anxiety. So in panic anxiety disorder, the constant pressure temporarily overpower this ego, and when that overpower the ego, it tend to produce panic attacks. So once when this whole attack pass, the whole pressure release itself through silent symptom, then again our ego regain its control over the situation, and then patient again come back to his normal state. So that is what the panic anxiety disorder is, why this happens. So I can say the main culprit to produce this panic anxiety disorder is a temporary weakened ego state. We need to, I can say, give that boost, the strongerness to that weakened ego in order to permanently come out from this particular disorder. So that is what I got when I tried to understand this whole psychodynamics. I am able to understand that this is the very basic fundamental cause which tends to produce this panic anxiety disorder. Now, question in my mind, even at that time when I was doing MD and I have written whole thesis on this particular disorder. Okay, now how to go further? How to solve these phenomena, or how to strengthen our ego? Is there any solution, and how we can do this thing? So at that time, even I can say homeopathy, we have this very basic law of similia. So one side, I need to find out such medicine which has a weak will or the weak ego of development, and on the opposite side, during case taking, through case taking, I also need to understand that individual weakened ego at that time. And while by comparing this weak ego, that individual weak ego from the both side, I can select one particular medicine, so through which I can cure my patient. It's like the same thing. A person who is having a diarrhea, I need to give such medicine homeopathically which tends to produce diarrhea. For example, arsenic. By the same way, a person who is having a weakened ego, I need to find out such medicine which also having a such kind of weakened ego, improving or the in understanding, I will say, of that particular medicine. How to do it? Is there anything available in the whole universe which can help me? I can say yes, there is something. I can say a whole personal evolution method or model developed by Dr. Mahesh Gandhi sir, and work on personal evolution which is done by Mikhail Yakir, in which she has described a whole systematic presentation of all plant family. In both, these are the just, I can say, the images of PEM classification done by Mahesh Gandhi sir, and another really a wonderful book written by Mikhail Yaki. When you read this book, you will be able to understand what I'm saying. But the problem is the book is really a huge one. You will need really a patience to read this particular book. There are at least 1,000 pages are there, and a quite A4 A5 size of the book is. So in both this work, what I find, understanding of this medicine is based on the inner age of the person. That is what I really searching for, to cure my psychiatric cases. I really want such thing which has a such kind of understanding of medicine based on their inner ego or the inner age. And here we find this both work is based on this inner age or the psychological development of the person, which is described by Erik Erikson. So this is what I mean by inner age. Outside your age will be anything. It would be 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, but from inside you are like a baby. If I am describing the same thing in another image, look at this child. She is very small, but her inner age will be a kind of a 65 years. Just want to sit and knitting something. While here, a grandma, nanny, she is a very fond of music and dance. and enjoying life. So her inner age would be 16 years, even though from outside she looked like a 65, 70 or 75 years. So that is what the thing is. You need to understand the inner age of your patient. By the same way, you also need to understand the inner age, or the I can say the inner development of your medicines, homeopathic medicines. So based on this thing, Dr. Mikhail Yaki it's Mikhail Yakir has developed whole chart. If you try to understand this whole chart, this is sub class 1, 2, 3, which is developed by Cronquist classification she is following, subclass 4, subclass 5, subclass 6, and along with this thing, we also find here various stages. Womb stage. These all stage described by Erik Erikson, a psychological development. So womb stage will be there, infancy stage will be there, toddler stage will be there, early childhood, school age. You will find all these things on net. If you require, just type Erik Erikson psychological developmental stages. You will find all these things. Adolescence age, young age, mature age, and old age. So this is what is work done by Mikhail Yakir. The same kind of work, I can say, even Dr. Mikhail Yakir has given a specific, sorry, symptoms or the issues related with that specific psychological developmental stage, and she has also described further a specific issue related with the subclass 1, issue related with subclass 2, issue related with subclass 3, issue related with subclass 4, 5, and 6. So it's a kind of a cross thing. The medicine you will able to find out here. For example, our pulsatilla comes here, belongs to a ranunculus family, is belongs to subclass 1 and adolescence age, for example. So this is the family, I can say order. Even further, it will be further divided into the families, and in families we have a various medicines. So that is what the basic chart we are following. By the same way, Dr. Mahesh Gandhi has also developed a whole beautiful chart in minerals. These are the various minerals in which depends upon their stage of the development: oral stage, anal stage, play school, school age, adolescence, young adult, adulthood, middle age, late adulthood. And if I say I want, for example, medicine for the anal stage of development, this whole list is there: boron, alumina, scandium, yttrium, lanthanum has a kind of an anal stage of development. By the same way, we also find what we find in plant subclasses. We also find here issues related with minerals. So this is the I can say the row 1, row 2, row 3, which is a natrium line, row 4, a calcium line, row 5, a silver line, row 6, a king series or a aurum series. So one side a rose will be there, opposite side all these are the columns from 1 to 17, and he has described a particular stage of development of that particular column. So by combining these two things, you will reach to one particular remedy. And the same thing he has developed in animal chart also, which is a really beautiful one. Without this chart, I cannot go further, or I cannot treat any psychological cases, any psychiatric cases, I can say. I have given a many medicine based on all these charts, and they are works wonderfully, believe me. So sir has divided the animal chart in a basic two part. invertebrates and vertebrates. Even in invertebrates, again they are divided into aquatic part, terrestrial animals and aerial animals, which are further divided here in a stage wise: a beginning stage, womb stage, early childhood stage, school age, adolescence age, adult and old age. So by combining these two things, for example, here we find mollusk, which has a combination of this aquatic animal, earth elements, along with, for example, if I say gastropods, it has to do with early childhood stage or the school age. So when you have all these clear in your mind, it will be very much easy for you to prescribe such medicines. Right now you feel like, oh, it's look like very much complicated thing, but once you understand the whole chart, once you understand the whole, I can say, the basic understanding behind developing this whole chart, it will be very much easy for you to prescribe medicine based on these charts. But you should develop, you need to develop understanding, I can say. That is what is required. So with this basic understanding, let's solve our case. So we come back to again our case. So if we want to analyze the whole case, in the our case, I can say these are the main complaints: irritable bowel syndrome, panic anxiety disorder. She feels very much lethargic, dragging oneself, and also very spiritual. She is a very spiritual lady. Even she stays at USA, but she's very spiritual, and she specifically come back to India because of, in India we have lots and lots of spirituality. When I ask her regarding her experience during meditation, all these she told us she wants to detach yourself, very frightened. She has a very frightening experience that I will pass away, even in during this meditation. And that time she tried to hold I need to hold myself. At that time, she becomes so much so confused and panicky at that time. She need to hold, she need to control herself. This specific fear of depersonalization is very, I can say, 5 mark in this particular case, which tends to produce panicky in her case. Her fear is that he will come out from the body and cannot get again, and there is a lots of suffering, and she feels completely helplessness from that meditative state. Regarding her nature, she is influenced very easily. She feels all these TV and all these negative energy media overpowers her. So that's why she will avoid to watch TV. She is very sensitive to insult. Again, regarding the Garba incident, she has a fear of rape, getting injured, and she was so frightened that after that incident, she avoided playing Garba again. Even in dream, we feel that she feels shocked and having a very frightening experience even during dream, that a child, something will happen to that particular child, somebody can kidnap him. So because of that frightening experience, she feels churning sensation that something will happen in abdomen. And at last she told us that I beg to God to please someone help me to come out from this particular problem. So this is what the whole case in crux. So whatever we have tried to understand till now, PEM perspective point of view, it will be very clear to all of you that she is quite sensitive and very reactive lady. See, reaction also I can say confusion is also a kind of reaction. Having a blank state is also a kind of confusion. So when we try to understand this whole case, kingdom's point of view, her all issues are belongs to plant kingdom. We clearly define these things as sensitivity and reactivity. When we try to understand this case further, all these issues are related with subclass 1 in dicotyledon named Magnolidae. If I show you chart, Magnolidae comes here related with subclass 1. Okay. So this is the basic understanding regarding Magnolidae subclass 1. Its state of pre-separation means a person or the I can say soul coming to the earth, but she is that soul is not still grounded, and that is what the biggest fear all these persons or all these medicines has. Okay, it's a state of a pre-separation. A person would be or the medicine would be very primordial, very basic in nature, very immature. They are very naive in a way. We find a very naive state of ego, and it struggle from separation from the oneness, and that is why they have always there is a fear of this the out of body experience. They experience a lot. We also find weak ego, weak will, weak mind, and strong impulses. In such a case, all medicines are very much confused and unfocused. It is not related with one particular medicine. For example, if I say here, medicine, magnolids, we find here Nux moscata. So Nux moscata is not only confused remedy in the whole subclass, but I will say the whole subclass is a confused. They feel inability to protect oneself and no defense or reacting control. They are very exposed very easily as they find no skin, no boundaries, and they are quite oversensitive in nature. What we believe till now, okay, this is the just related with ranunculaceae, but it is common to whole subclass 1. And being so completely exposed, they are having a multiple fear and anxiety. And as they are not that much developed, they have a much more issues related with pregnancy, birth, menstruation, uterus, female sexual organs, and hormonal system. So hormonal system is at very delicate, I can say the very sensitive stage. Any outside stimuli immediately affect the hormonal system, tends to produce all these problems related with periods or pregnancy. So this is what the one side. Okay, this is the confirm. Okay, I need to give medicine from this Magnolidae subclass 1. Now, how to go further? How developed she is? Okay, subclass 1 is confirmed, but how to go further? Base which so I need to understand what are the from which particular stage she is belongs to. Can anybody tell me? Okay, so it belongs to a anal stage of development, which is a toddler stage. Someone has written in chat box. So it has to do with holding on. This anal stage of development has to do with holding on, autonomy, and a sense of a capability. Here we find they have that willpower or they do not have that capacity or will. So they are very weak will or they are also a kind of very ziddi, headstrong in a way, willpower point of view. So almost all children, those who are very stubborn in nature, will fall in this anal stage. So you will find a stage of failure, stage of self-doubt and self-reproaches at that time. So if we combine these two things, a toddler stage and Magnolidae subclass 1, we come to a laurels. So these laurels is a combination of column 1 and row 2 or a row 3. That is what the stage 2 and 3. So here we find Lauraceae and Minimiaceae as a family. If I try to understand laurels, a theme of the laurels, we find here a sense of existential danger and lack of protection. If we see our case, she has having a so much so insecurity regarding one's own existence, fear of that my soul will come out from my body and will not getting again. So that is what the existential danger we find in this particular case. They feel a very much sense of powerlessness, which leads to produce hysterical convulsions or hysteria, fever, rage, destructiveness, and fear of death is so much so strong in this particular family. They want that power, that control, and that strength to having a one's own. I can say that I can hold myself. That strength they want. So here we find ability or inability to content or hold our own emotions, our own body fluid, which tends to produce either control or a uncontrol, which tends to produce bleeding, diarrhea, and various lungs affections. So finally, a remedy given. Yes, anyone can say that. Some of you are right. I have finally medicine which is given is Camphora officinalis, a medicine which is, I can say, Shankaran sir has suggested this Camphora medicine as a genus epidemicus in this corona. But I can say this is the whole new way of looking towards Camphora. And even without those who are having a no corona, we can also give them this Camphora if we have that particular understanding. So I have given her Camphora 200, 4 dose, morning, evening for 2 days, every week. So this is the Camphora, the particles. So basically this medicine is prepared from Camphora oil, which is obtained from the bark of the tree. And yes, most commonly used thing which we are using as Camphora is this our own Vicks Vapor. I can say no house will be there where there is no Vicks Vapor. We all are using Camphora lots and lots, and it has a vapor specifically written here. It's a vaporizing ointment. So this vaporizing is a very basic quality of Camphora, and that is what has to do with depersonalization. So they are even using persons as a sedative and as a relaxing agent, and it tend to produce calming effect. Even in old uh, societies in Chinese medicine, they are using it as an anti-diarrheal. Even we also use this thing nowadays, which is a kind of a in thing, kapurdani, which is we are using as a muscular repellent. So camphora is very historical medicine. It tend to produce diarrhea. It has many spiritual properties. It tends to produce cleaning property. So even spiritual wise, in our ancient times, we are using camphora. Even right now also, when we are doing arti, in the last we burn this camphora to energize our atmosphere, and I can say to fight against this dark and unwanted energy. We burnt our that camphora, Kapur Koti. It has a very strong existential insecurities and fear. At that time, that person feel completely alone and isolated and like alienated even from the society. And that is what they are very much afraid of. So afraid of sleep, dark, anesthesia, as if afraid to disappear again is very much basic proving symptom of the camphora. Panic anxiety of dissolving and disappearing. Believe me, all these I have written from Mikhal Yakir's book. It has nothing to do with our case. So we find here death and endless coldness experience. We find terrible fear of being alone. We also find diarrhea, colic and gas, and intense coldness during diarrhea. We also find a near-death experience in camphora and collapse and coldness of body. So any stimulus or slight affons leads to produce general state of collapse, helplessness, and weakness. So this is what regarding camphora. This is what medicine I have given to this particular lady, and believe me, result is marvelous. Just after 15 days, she feels much more energetic. She feels 30% better. Believe me, she was in a very much deep down depressive state. And after this meditative experience of or these panicky attacks, she avoid to go for meditation, even though she is so much so spiritual. She feels 30% better. Even regarding the irritable bowel syndrome, now she need to go just 2 to 3 times a day, but she feels better. In still confusion is there. She has also having another dream that two children were there, and fear of killing and fear of fright is still there. Again, a follow up after 1 month. Again, she feels much more better. She feels 40% better in this depersonalization, and that emptiness is still better compared to before. Now sleep is better. She has completely stopped the allopathic medication, which she need to do or she need to take. Follow up after 3 months. Now she tell, okay, I traveled a lot. She went to Vraj. She wants to want that spiritual experience. So she went to Vraj. She's feeling 60% better. Now she that loneliness is less. She feels very less depersonalization, and now there is no lethargic like before, no IBS issues, and now she can enjoy her life and feeling much more calmer than before. So that is what regarding the whole case. So anything you want to ask me, you can type in a chat box, and all these things I have the whole these information I get through these three book, which is written by Dr. Mahesh Gandhi sir. And these are really a very basic book. If you really want to do or want to solve psychiatric cases with homeopathy, I can say these three books are a kind of a must book to read. And Mikhal Yakir's book, Wondrous Order, amazing book she has written, I can say. So you really want to, if you really want to learn, I can say you need to learn this whole method, personal evaluation method. So there are questions. She was making Kapur Koti, yes, and that is what she is allergic to. So we can have a hint of camphora as a medicine from here also. But I can say even if she is not allergic to Kapur Koti, I will also then also I will give camphora, because the whole state of this particular lady is belongs to camphora. Can you connect it that she is making? Okay, yes, that is what I told you ki, yes, we can connect these two things. How to differentiate with bivalva? uh Here I would not be able to find out that in and out experience which we normally find in bivalva. Here I find one side a sensitivity and another thing is a reactivity, which is very clear for me. There is no any kind of animal issues are there, or no any mollusk issue are there. So of course mollusk will be always DD. Okay, any other question? Dr. Yamini, if you want to ask anything?
No, sir.
So here mainly my intention to show this particular case is to understand the whole underlying process, or to understand this whole case through personal evolution model, which helps me a lot.
Yes. So, sir, can you talk about in what type of cases we can use personal evolution model? Because I know many of the people who doesn't know about PEM, and
Okay.
what is your preference? In which type of cases you use it, or where it is applicable? Can you talk about it a little bit?
I can say I can answer this question by this way. In which particular case you will use keynote? In which particular case you will use repertory? In which particular case you will use drug picture? Yamini?
Yes, yes.
In which particular case you will use keynotes as a prescription? Or
Where
in which particular,
keynotes are there?
when keynotes are present, na?
Yes.
By the same way, when you find a very characteristic PQRS are there, and which you
Mhm.
find directly into repertory, I will use
Mhm.
repertory.
Yes.
By the same way, those cases, whether it is related with psychiatry or not, it's a
Mhm.
secondary thing. But in
Mhm.
which I would be able to find out clear cut the inner age of that patient,
Okay.
I will use this PN method. Whether that person having a asthma, or that person having a headache, or that person having a cancer,
Mm-hmm.
in all these pathological cases, I have used PM method. It is not just related with psychiatric cases.
Mm-hmm.
But in psychiatric cases, I can say PM works much more better way compared to any other method. So that is why I try to follow and try to learn this method with sir. I can say since
Yeah.
last 12 years, from 2008 till now, and still I am learning. Still I'm not, I can say, 100%
Mm-hmm.
uh, confirmation regarding means learning point of view. Still I need to learn this method more, but I can say in practice this whole understanding related with this
Mm-hmm.
PM helps me much more, even to confirm the
Mm-hmm.
medicine which will be coming through repertorization or through sensation method or through keynotes. I can confirm that medicine even also through this PM method.
Okay.
So
Right.
I can say in any case I can apply this method whenever. But look, we need, it's like what my eye sees, what mind knows. You need to train yourself basically to
True.
apply this method. You need to train yourself to, I can say, understand the case by this way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
So that is what is required, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am also, as I have discussed with you,
Mm-hmm.
possibilities that even regarding the some mineral case, animal case, same panic anxiety disorder, we can have another session with the same topic, panic anxiety disorder. We can have another session,
Wow,
future,
that
in a
would be
short
great.
future.
Even Dr.
Good
Anita
topic
is also
session.
writing in the chat box that please present cases from animal and mineral kingdom on PEM method. So we would
That we
love
can
to
do.
hear again. Yeah, so we will arrange a session. I will talk to you whenever you give us time. We can
Sure,
do that.
sure,
Okay,
sure,
there is
sure.
one question, sir. Dr. Vidya is asking that should we take patients' past symptoms which are not present now? Example, tearing and burning of goods in past, but it is not present now. So, do we consider that?
I can say you can take anything. Even patient will tell you, I am having a such kind of experience in my dream. Even I am having a such kind of experience in my past life. When I do past life regression, I experience this particular thing. Should we, uh, I can say, cover this part also? I will say you can cover anything.
Okay.
Whatever patient is telling you regarding one's own self, past, present or a future, all this is belongs to that person only.
Mhm.
So of course I will keep this thing, and I will also give such medicine which also cover this past experience, if it is too much individualized and characteristic, not all the things.
So I hope that you don't have any questions. If you have any questions, you can write down in the chat box so that we can take them. And we will also request Dr. Malak to take another session in which he can share mineral and animal cases with the same approach.
Sure, it is there in my mind. So sure, we will do that thing.
Thank you.
Sure, I will also happy to share.
Thank you
I
so
learned
much.
a lot.
It was a wonderful case, and with a very nice pace and explanation you showed it. It was really nice. It was, and also the case was also very interesting because it has a different
So
kind of
yes,
the whole
absolutely yes.
experience. So it was really
Yes.
nice.
So of course, so at end of the every case,
Hmm.
I ask myself, what is this particular thing in this particular case which I see or observe first time, whether it would be any symptom or any experience or anything, I will say. The
Uh-huh.
experience it has during meditation, I can
Hmm.
say I have means observed this thing first time,
Hmm.
kind of a very much frightened to depersonalized during meditation, which is very unique experience for her.
Yeah, right. It is not that common.
Yes, which ultimately leads to panic anxiety in her.
Yeah, true. Okay. So
Okay.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Alpa is also writing. Nice sharing, Dr. Malak. And thank you for
Thank
your
you.
feedback.
Thanks to you, Dr. Yamini, first of all. Without this,
It's a pleasure,
I
sir.
cannot share anything. So
It's
thanks
a
to you, first
it's
of
a
all.
sheer pleasure. Thank you so much for your kind words. And we are really looking forward for the next session. I express my
Sure.
gratitude to you. Thank
Sure
you so
will.
much
Sure
for
will.
giving your time. And
And
I
thanks to
request
all
all the
participants.
participants also to share your feedback, please. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Good night. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.